Let's bring in Bill Plaschke. I know what his worst of the weekend is, the LA Times columnist, Around the Horn contributor. Bill, if I told you Frank Vogel would be the head coach on Friday if I talked to you, what would you have said?
I would say what I said in my column. What? What? Yeah, it's and there's really nothing against Frank Vogel. And I had to spend my Mother's Day fielding emails from people saying I'm being mean to poor Frank Vogel. It's not about Frank Vogel. It's just the whole Lakers situation is such a mess. So apparently, from the best I can gather, best everybody can gather, they couldn't decide on one coach, so they hired two coaches.
Yeah.
It's sort of like that candy now and later. Frank Vogel for now and Jason Kidd for later. That's kind of how it shook down. I think they really wanted in their hearts to hire Jason Kidd, but they didn't think he could pass muster with his past and with he was campaigning for Luke Walton's job, and there's a lot of stuff there, a lot of smoke there around him. So they thought, well, bring him in as an assistant, and then bring in somebody else to keep the seat warm until Jason Kidd can get comfortable here. And that's the impression I get. And I feel bad for Frank Vogel because you never think you'd say you feel bad for somebody taking a Laker job, but it seems like an untenable situation for him. He doesn't have the respect of LeBron. And by the way, you see LeBron tweeting out, never underestimate the heart of a champion, plagiarizing Rudy T and all that. How hard would it have been for LeBron to tweet out, nice job hiring the coach, or good job, or I'm in your corner, Frank, or something? And he's obviously on Twitter.
Yeah.
How hard would it have been for him to come out and just support this and kind of, end this fire right now and get things calm for the off season? I mean, that just drives me crazy, Dan. It just drives me crazy.
Well, I was surprised that, there wasn't any, hey, got our coach ready to get started, something like that. But, just play the game. Even if you're not thrilled, play the game. And then I started wondering, John Beilein just took the Cavs job. He got 5 years.
Yeah, he was available? What the hell?
He probably said, no, I don't want to go to – I'd rather go to the Cavs than – what's a better job today, Cavs or the Lakers?
Oh, I think without question the Cleveland Cavaliers are better job. They have a clue. They have a plan. They have a guy running the show there. They have a lottery pick, a better lottery pick. I would say Cleveland could get Zion Williamson.
Yeah,
and the Lakers would be lucky to get Jimmy Butler. So yeah, I would think that the Cavs are a better job. Yeah, I didn't even know Beilein was available. That's what drives people crazy out here too. Is that they just didn't cast a very wide net. The minute they botched that Ty Lue hiring, which it should have been Ty Lue all along. They just went for the next guy who would take a 3-year contract, and the guy who I guess, and again, Frank Vogel knows what he's going into with Jason Kidd, because Magic talked about the quote unquote backstabbing and whispering. Well, that's kind of the reputation of one Mr. Kidd, and that's going to be a tough situation. I mean, I don't know. There's people here already saying they give Vogel a year and a half, and Kidd's taking over.
But I still don't understand why Ty Lue didn't bet on himself here, Bill, because. He made a good money. He signed that 5-year, $35 million extension with the Cavs after they won the title, and they had to pay him off $15 million. Why not bet on yourself, go in for 3 years, and instead of being unemployed, he chose unemployment over coaching the Lakers.
Yes, because it's such a mess there. I don't blame him. I think he thought they were linking him to LeBron forever, and that he was going to, there was going to be an expiration date on his coaching style there, and it would have alienated him. You've got to win. You've got to win out the younger teammates who really don't like LeBron and don't trust LeBron. How are you going to win them over if you're strictly LeBron's guy? It seemed like a strictly LeBron hire. He wanted a chance to show he was more than just a LeBron hire, and I think that's fair. And I think it's a fair thing. In 5 years, that's what Monty Williams got. That's what Luke Walton got 5 years.
Yeah.
I don't know what, and the Lakers are making billions of dollars. They could pay him off after 3 years and get rid of him. I just thought, and so instead the Lakers hire a guy, Frank Vogel, not connected to LeBron, but then they go hire a guy who's deeply connected to LeBron, and so they're in the same situation. It's just, again, I don't know who's going to be at the first press conference. That's what we're all wondering. Who's going to be at the press conference when they announce if they ever have one? Well, Frank Vogel's going to be there. And I guess Rob Plink will be there. Will Linda Rambis be there? Will Jeannie be there? Will Jason Kidd be there?
Yeah.
That would be awkward.
I'm going to guess both of them. I think Frank and Jason are going to be there.
No, there's no way, Dan. There's no way they let Jason Kidd anywhere near that building that day. There is no way. Oh, my God.
I'm in the minority, probably. I think Vogel is a good guy to have in there now because it's a mess. But I need somebody to calm it down. I need somebody who doesn't bring in drama. His resume, he was respected with what he did in Indiana. Didn't go well in the 2 years in Orlando, but I do think there are some positives about him. I just think that Laker fans overrate the job now. The fact that guys don't want it, or Monty Williams would choose Phoenix over the Lakers. That would never happen. And that's where I think the expectation level was so high, no matter who you hired, it wasn't going to be good enough.
Well, I think your point is good about Frank Vogel being a good, calm face for the organization. He's a really good guy, everybody says. He's good with the media. He will project calmness. But underneath, I don't know what's going on. But I think the Laker fans, I think they would look at this differently if they knew who was in charge. If they had Daryl Morey, of course, I guess his name's not so great right now because of what happened to Houston. But you know what I'm saying? They had one of those great young forward-thinking GMs making this hire. They don't know who to trust. They don't know who to trust now, so they trust nobody. And then that's the thing. And again, it's hard to trust them when they hire. If Frank Vogel's your guy, then just hire him. Don't hire Jason Kidd to sit there and whisper next to him on the bench and be the LeBron whisperer. You don't do that.
Did they raise ticket prices recently?
Yes, they did. Actually, because they went a year, they signed LeBron after tickets were already sold. So they didn't get any bump from the LeBron thing. So they're going to get it now. And I don't blame them. Their business side is tremendous. It's the best in town. It's one of the best in all pro sports. They signed the best TV deal in the history of pro sports. They're making a ton of money. But the thought here is one more year of this nonsense, and it's going to start to really affect the brand and affect the partners and affect the season ticket holders and all that. So they got one more year of this thing, and I don't know how they get out of it. I mean, I'm not so sure if this duo of Vogel and Kidd can attract free agents. That's the next thing.
Yeah, that's the bigger point, I think, with all of this is initially, because if you get better players, then all of a sudden Frank Vogel looks like a better hire. And if you
absolutely,
yeah, and if you don't, I wonder about, and I was told this over the weekend, Bill, and you might know more about this, that the partners, there's unrest there of is there a way to buy this team from the Buss family?
You heard correctly. There's a lot of rumblings from the AEGs of the world and some of the partners, and I think they're going to wait till this summer. They're going to wait to see what happens this summer. But obviously, she's never going to sell herself.
Yeah.
But just don't forget, she took over the team in a coup from her brothers. So the team can be taken over in a coup. That could happen. I don't see that happening until at least they see what happens this summer and see what happens next year. They're going to give her another year. But no, people are upset. I mean, there was that silly protest that had like 20 people, and then that was a joke.
Yeah.
The real money movers and shakers and money people, those are the ones who are quietly protesting, and they're upset. And again, she has 1 year she has this summer to figure this out, and next season. And if they don't make the playoffs again, then I think that's all becomes a reality.
Who are you getting there, free? Is Jimmy Butler now what the expectation level? That's the level of free agency that you might be able to?
If that's it, they're in trouble because he's not going to change things. No, I think there's talk now. I'm hearing rumblings about maybe Kyrie maybe wanting to come out here, and I think that would work. I think that would be good with LeBron. But they need. I was told like everybody else, they want one of the Ks. Clay or Kyrie or Kevin or all those or Kawhi. But there's no way Kawhi's coming here. I don't know if Kawhi's even leaving Toronto after yesterday.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not.
Yeah, but I think the best they can hope for is to get Kyrie back with LeBron and see if that can work. And I would support that. I think that would be a pretty cool move. But they don't know. He's how he is. I think Brian Windhorst first reported that. But so I don't know. I just don't know. I don't think they know, and that's the scary thing. They're going to this thing in the dark. And again, they would help to have one of the greatest players in history on your side, tweeting out your support. And where's LeBron? I mean, my goodness, he can tweet out about the Houston Golden State series and not tweet out about his own team. I'm sorry, that's just wrong.
He tweeted out, I think, about Portland too. I think C.J. McCollum's game. I think he tweeted out about that too.
Oh my goodness! Just say you're right, Dave. You're so right. Just say, whether you believe it or not, you've got to live this. And if you want to stay here and you don't want them to, and you don't want to be traded, then tweet out, "This is good moving forward. Free agents, come on down. We're going to have fun. The party. Let's get the party started." How about that tweet? Frank Vogel's here. Let's get the party started. Yeah, maybe that wouldn't have sounded so good, but you know what? If it came from him, he can tweet anything. Just anything, any bit of support. Yeah, and LeBron, by the way, LeBron's not going to be at that first press conference. I can guarantee you that.
Thank you, Bill. Good to talk to you as always.
See you guys.
That's Bill Plaschke, LA Times columnist, Around the Horn contributor. His most recent column, Frank Vogel's hiring by the Lakers prompts a question. Are they kidding? I don't know if that was pun intended with Jason Kidd. Are they kidding?
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.